This is the landing page I built for my first ever newsletter. I had no idea what I was doing, but it actually kind of performed okay. 18% of visitors subscribed, which turned into over $117,000 in revenue from sales of my info products and courses. Since then, I've helped hundreds of newsletters test and optimize their landing pages, leading to growth all around. So this got me thinking, if I knew back then what I know today, how different would my original landing page have been? Would it drive more growth? Well, that's exactly what we're going to find out today. In this video, I'm going to go back to my old landing page and I'm going to completely redesign it and test it to see how much faster I would have grown if I'd just improved my landing page. Step one, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to switch from the old tool I was using to a platform made specifically for landing pages called Card. This isn't sponsored, but Card is cheap, easy, and most importantly, it loads super fast. Plus, it has a super useful secret bonus feature built in, which I'm going to show you later. Step two. So with my original landing page, I made two big mistakes that I see newsletter operators make all the time, and they really hurt your growth and conversion rates. Firstly, I have a navigation menu here with distracting links to other pages and things on the site. Do you ever go buy something on Amazon and realize when you get to the checkout page, there are no other distracting clickable links? Well, there's a reason for that. Those extra options, they can confuse and distract the visitor, which kills conversions, and that is not what we want. When the user lands on this page, they should see one option only, to subscribe. And secondly, some of my landing page content's hidden below the fold. The visitor needs to scroll to see it. And if you check out the best newsletter landing pages in my library of 300 examples, you'll see they all have their important content above the fold, visible at a glance right when the page loads. So let's take all those distracting links and anything below the fold and just tear it out. Step three. Okay. Now let's move on to the headline. In my original landing page, I make another super common mistake of just writing the name of the newsletter. Sales for Founders. In my case, that's actually not the end of the world, because at least it describes what the newsletter's about. But look at these high converting landing pages. What do all of their headlines have in common? They don't focus on what the newsletter's called or what it's about. No. They pitch the visitor on the transformation. How will the visitor's life be better after they've signed up? Now, in real life, for your own newsletter, you'd want to take 5 to 10 ideas that you've brainstormed and A/B test them with real traffic. But it's been ages since this newsletter was live for me. So I just went with a classic that I got from a reader quote way back then from how the newsletter helped transform their life. Go from hating sales to making sales. Step 4. Next up, it's the description text. In the original landing page, I think I actually did a pretty good job with the description text. As a visitor, you can read it, you can understand how the newsletter provides value, and you kind of understand what to expect. But to be really great, it's missing two key things. Number one, trust. Why should I, as a visitor, believe that it's worth my time giving you my email address? And number two, urgency. Why should I sign up today rather than swipe over to TikTok or Twitter or wherever else I'm doing while I'm finishing my coffee? Let's fix this. I kept the core of the original landing page, and to increase trust and sprinkle in a little bit of FOMO, we can add in some social proof. For example, 3,691 smart founders are already doing this. Why aren't you? Another super useful trick is to add specificity to make your claims more believable. Closing more deals is good. Closing $2.5 million in new deals is way better. And then let's ramp up the urgency with some exclusivity. In your inbox every week is fine. Only in my free Thursday newsletter, way better. And one more big thing. There's an old cliche that a picture says 1,000 words, and for increasing trust and urgency on newsletter landing pages, that is definitely true. Visitors want to see that your newsletter actually exists, and they want to see happy smiling faces of your readers. Or, if you've got a very corporate audience, maybe you can just show them some logos of impressive companies that they'd like to work at. So I grabbed a screenshot of my newsletter, I got some photos of happy readers, and I paid a designer on Fiverr $17 to make this. Okay. So we're almost ready to test this new landing page out. But before we get to the results, there's one more change to make, and it is super important. Can you guess what it is? Step 5, optimizing the sign-up form. There are two big issues with my original sign-up form. Number one, I'm asking for the name and the email address, and that's so much more work for the visitor, and it just kills your conversions. If you only take away one thing from this video, make it this. Just ask for the email address and get more info like the name or anything else you want to know about the reader in a form on the thank you page after they've subscribed. And then mistake number 2, the sign up button, the call to action I'm using, it's weak. Why would I want to subscribe now? When you want someone to take action, you should always lead with the value they'll get by doing so. Think about it. Do you want to smash that subscribe button, or would you rather commit to start making sales? Now, if you remember, in step number 1, I said I chose to build this landing page on Card because it has a secret feature, and it's a feature that can boost your conversion rates by 10% or more. Here's where that comes in. When you set up your form in Card, you want to go into the options and you want to toggle on the autofocus form option. With this enabled, when someone visits your landing page, the sign-up form will automatically be focused and ready to type into. Visitors will be drawn to it automatically as the default next step, and that reduces friction and, most importantly, it boosts your conversion rates in our testing by more than 10% on average with 0 extra work. Okay, now we've got my new landing page ready and it's looking pretty good on desktop and mobile. So it's time to test it with some real visitors and see how much better it converts compared to that old page from 2017. Unfortunately, the newsletter isn't live anymore, and I haven't been writing it for 5 years at this point. But that doesn't mean I can't push the new landing page live and run social ads to drive just over 1,000 visitors to the site. If you're one of them, sorry, bad news, you're not actually going to be receiving the newsletter, but it's okay. I did send you some free sales resources that have been created by some people I trust to help you get started. Now let's dive into the results. As a reminder, the old page, it converted visitors to subscribers at 18% on average. Not bad. Now for the new page. 1,176 people actually visited the site, and of those, 563 ended up subscribing to the newsletter. That's a 48% conversion rate, almost 3 times better than the original, and that is huge. Let's put this into perspective. With 0 other changes, if I'd had this landing page back in 2017, my newsletter would have grown almost 3 times faster. The $117,000 of revenue I made, that could have been $350,000, an extra 200 grand in sales, all thanks to 30 minutes extra work. And you can do the same for your newsletter. My designer, Nick, turned this landing page into 2 free card templates that you can steal, and you can use them to grow your newsletter. Grab them from the description below.